Hi everybody, I hope that you guys are all doing well. We are here with a general reading. Before we get into it, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. Okay, so it looks like there's a focus on your artistic expression, creativity. You could be making art, you could be designing something. There can be like a sense of originality that you want to bring to the work that you're doing, things like that. Okay. This is the originality that we are talking about. Bringing this sense of expression to what it is that you are doing. I'm looking at the Lovers here. Looking at a challenge. Okay, so there's a focus on Gemini and also Venus. Gemini has to do with our communication. It looks like communicating with somebody that you are in a partnership with, or somebody that is close to you, in close proximity to you, or somebody within your close circle. To have Venus here, interpersonal relationships. There may be something that you feel like, hey, it's important for me to express myself in this way with this person. However, I'm feeling like there's a challenge. Something challenging me from doing that, or that there's like a block here. Something like this. Feels kind of like a karmic test for you. So you may be in a spot where you can decide, do you want to show up in a way that you feel that you're empowering yourself? Is this something that you're trying to figure out how to do? I'm seeing something that you're analyzing and looking into. It's interesting too with like both sides of the mercurial energy. We have Gemini and we also have the Virgo, which with Gemini it's more so like, how are we communicating with people? Virgo can be a more introspective energy of like analyzing how exactly you're going about doing that, thinking about things before you're acting, really being mindful of your communication as well. Okay, so because your empowerment feels so important within this situation, I'm seeing like you've worked hard to get where you are. To have the Empress pop out, it's like you've been through situations where you may not have necessarily felt empowered before, and so this is feeling very important to you now to be able to express yourself in a way that feels authentic to you, especially within your close relationships. And you may feel like there's an occurrence, a situation going on right now where you feel like that is being challenged for you. And I'm seeing you thinking about like, hey, do I want to stick around for this situation or not? Is this something that's really not for me and I need to choose myself maybe over this relationship? If it's something that's not going to truly allow me to be empowered if I participate in it. You have an opportunity on the other side of this. Okay. These two. You may have a creative opportunity. You may have an opportunity to emotionally connect with someone. This is an opportunity for your Queen of Cups energy. This can also be somebody coming through and offering you something. This would be somebody that you have a loving connection with. You have an emotional connection with this person. Also, if this is an opportunity for you, I'm seeing there be like a barrier. Like you're over here on this side and it seems like you may be tied to someone and you feel like there's a barrier. And on the other side of it, it's like an opportunity to openly express yourself, to openly express your emotions, to be honored for how you feel and how you see things. Not to be in a place where you're being called too sensitive or anything like this. This is more of like, I feel empowered for being intuitive and for feeling these things that I feel and for being creative in my unique and original way. Things like that. Also looking at the Hierophant on the bottom of the deck, you might have Taurus placements. Yeah, you're making a judgment call. I'm seeing you really thinking about this. Like, do I want to stick around for this, or is this a dead end for me? I'm seeing something that like, you don't want to be blinded to this. You don't want to ignore this. You really want to look this in the face. Because sometimes we get in these situations and it's like, let's sweep this under the rug, or like, maybe we can deal with this later down the line. Something feels too pressing. I'm seeing you be at a point where you're like, no, I need to look at this now. Yeah. Doing this for yourself. Definitely seeing you in a more fiery energy. Definitely a vibe of kind of like commanding the room with your energy, with your sense of presence. I wonder too if this is a challenging, potentially a work situation. It can also be a dating thing too. If this is somebody that you're connecting with, you may see them as being more reserved. They can be somebody that has like a sense of financial stability or things sort of figured out within the 3D. I'm seeing you be like a more fiery, creative sort of energy. So you may be, to have these energies, like even though you're looking at a queen and a king over here, fire is actually masculine and earth is actually feminine. So even though like maybe you're a feminine figure within this situation, you would see yourself as being more in a masculine energy, like more initiative. This person would be more receptive. If this is not two different people, which for some of you, to have the Lovers here, this is definitely connecting with like a partnership of yours. To have the Lovers and also Venus here, it's like interpersonal relationship. But this can also be your relationship with yourself, your relationship to like your creativity and what it is that you want to share. And also, I'm hearing your business model. Because you're like, I want to be confident when I'm at work. I want to be able to express myself freely and not need anybody else's approval. And I also want to be grounded enough to be like pragmatic and getting things done within the like actual business side of this. So there can also be like something that you're synthesizing here that you're bringing into the work environment. But yeah, this can, you may also see this reflected in an external relationship as well. For some of you, there can actually be 3 people involved. There's a change that you're going through. It feels like because of the way that you're stepping up now and doing things where before you may have been relying on... Okay, this is coming through strongly. Before, you could have been relying on someone or kind of like more dependent on someone to be like the breadwinner or to sort of like guide you when it came to financial choices. But it could have definitely been somebody that like dominated you, overpowered you, or didn't allow you to express yourself freely. This could also be like a repeat situation too. What I'm seeing is that by you stepping up in this way, because the way that I see the readings is that even though we have like all of these different court cards, so you can have 3 different people in this scenario, you may have 2 people, this may all just be you. So this is how I see it. Even though you may have other people that you're interacting with, it's a reflection of what's going on internally that you may also be seeing mirrored outside of yourself within your relationships. So it's like, if you feel internal conflict, you may also be experiencing an argument between you and another person close to you. It's stuff like that. So what I'm seeing here is that by you stepping up and being like, I'm capable, I'm creative, I can get my message out there, like I'm powerful enough, I don't need anybody else's approval, which is all the energy here of like, I can do it on my own, and like my ideas are enough and I can make things happen. Taking the initiative with the fire energy, and like, I can make a business model out of this, I can be my own boss, things like this, or I can work for myself, or I'm going to be a great employee. Whatever this is, there's this this alchemy now of these two energies that you're bringing together, where before you may have been relying on an energy to kind of tell you what to do, or like somebody to pay for things, or you may have felt kind of like you were in the shadow of another person. That's sort of the vibe that I'm getting, but it looks like you're stepping up, and now rather than attracting this energy in because you're like, I need this energy because I'm so far in the deficit of it, by you stepping up and doing this, you become independent through that process. So this is about like your individuality and your independence. So it turns even to you becoming like a business person, because I'm seeing you synthesizing these energies where you're like thinking about your money and your financial independence. Big one there. And now what you feel like was going to bring you a sense of happiness may be changing. It can be a situation like this where, say, you are moving around in a situation and you're not financially independent. More than likely, when it comes to looking for a partner, you're going to look for someone financially independent so then they can take care of you or they can help you with your finances, things like that. And that may be like one of the bigger things that are on your list of, if I'm not doing this, I need to be able to like find that energy elsewhere outside of me in order to have that within my life. But now because you're doing this yourself, it may actually change what you're looking for in a partner. Whether this be a business partnership, people that you work with, or actually like a personal partnership of yours. And I'm seeing now that like there's a difference now when it comes to things that bring you a sense of happiness. Like this is a change because of certain roles that you're stepping into and doing now, where I'm seeing there be like more of an advancement of your energy. Something is changing about your pursuit of happiness. So this is like a transition where there's more of a sense of fulfillment that you're going after now, that you are doing yourself rather than relying on another person to do this for you or bring this in for you. And you also feel happier too because you're following your intuition. So this feels like there's now been more of a connection with your water energy, which is connected with like your emotional states and energetically what's going on for you, and your intuition and how you're feeling and what truly brings you a sense of fulfillment. May at times be like working with some confidence stuff. Like you could have had somebody around you that you didn't feel supported by. And so sometimes that may come up for you. Okay, where are we going? So yeah, you get to a point where something needs to change and you have an opportunity that you feel excited about pursuing. So because of this change that you are embracing, which would have felt like a challenge. Now, why does this feel like a challenge? Either somebody in your life had, I don't know, like some resistance to a change that you were going through, or you could have been feeling this for yourself. Like, I've gotten established in this way. I don't want this thing to change now. Or this is part of my identity. I don't want to change. But it kind of seems like you would hit a block or hit a wall. And you need to shift in order to kind of get to the other side of this. So yeah, this could have been like somebody in your life that was kind of clogging the drain. Or this was a resistance, or this was a resistance on your part. Because I'm seeing ultimately, when it comes to like the things that you've stacked up and developed, your challenge was to actually go through a change in order to create an opportunity that would bring more happiness and fulfillment and spark and bliss and excitement and stuff like that into your life. It's like this connection that needed to be made where it's not just about your fire energy, it's not just about your earth energy. We're now introducing like the water energy and emphasizing that more, which is like your intuitive compass and you really trusting yourself. Queen of Cups is about self-trust. Because Queen of Cups can walk into a room and it's like nobody's picking up on a certain thing, but you have a feeling. And even though like your five senses can't explain it, it's like that sixth sense can. And you trusting yourself enough to be like, I know what's up here and I know what I'm feeling and I'm staying true to myself within this situation. And that's going to tell you like, oh, I'm feeling deterred from this, or I'm feeling attracted to this. And it's going to help you maneuver through the situations by you trusting yourself. I'm hearing the word calling. And I am seeing the Hierophant on the bottom of the deck. What this seems like, to have these two cards here, like Hierophant can be about Hierophant Taurus, and with the Devil here, this can be about material things, like material gain, because Taurus is about like our possessions and things like that. So there may be something about like resources or finances going on for you, where there could have been like a fixation or something like that, or you really clinging to things where, because Scorpio comes through, Scorpio's like, you got to get rid of all of that or you can't walk into this room. And so, like, if you want to get into this room where it's like this opportunity for you to truly feel a sense of happiness, you may be letting go of certain material things. You may be shedding. And that's what's also going to help you feel more connected. Because the thing with the Queen of Cups energy, which is where you are going, what you are connecting with, the Queen of Cups, it is a water energy. The Queen of Cups loves everybody. It doesn't matter if somebody is rich or poor, they look like this or whatever. There isn't that sense of materiality that matters. It's like about the heart connection. It's about the soul connection. So it's about what's inside rather than what's on the external. And so you're shifting into this energy where you may be putting less of an emphasis, because you're still living in a 3D world. Finances are still going to be important, resources, things like that. But there may be less of an emphasis on those things and more of an emphasis on like creativity. I'm also hearing heart strokes, maybe like heartbeats, what your heart beats for, things like that. But things that are like less tangible for you, but invaluable simultaneously. Okay. We're looking at Venus, Gemini, Scorpio, and I did keep seeing Taurus on the bottom of the deck, so also that too. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for connecting. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.